Does Sony's Morbius live up to the hype of being the living vampire? Absolutely, and I'll tell you why. What's up, guys? My name is Will, and here we're going to talk about Morbius, and I'm going to tell you why it actually lived up to the hype that it was bringing. With Morbius being the living vampire, the main reason it lived up to the hype was the same reason that a lot of critics are, calling for this movie to be one of the worst movies that Marvel has produced, is because it absolutely sucked. Now, I say that with taking it with a grain of salt because a lot of people may not understand what Morbius was trying to do. Some people do. It's different based on your knowledge of the comics and your knowledge of the MCU as well as Sony's universe. Now, Morbius seems to be trying to bring something together with a lot of characters that people may not know as well from the Spider-Man universe. And in doing so, this one kind of threw a lot of people off guard. People weren't prepared for Morbius. A lot of people didn't know who Morbius was, and they're kind of going into the movie blind. With Morbius being the one of the first villain standouts, which of course they didn't really make him a villain. He's more of a anti-hero, so to speak, throughout this movie. It just didn't sit well with a lot of people. Most of the characters throughout the movie were forgettable. There was nothing that really held me in my seat for the movie. Like, I was getting bored. I didn't understand why they were trying to take this a certain way. Why does this always have to have a love interest included? Like, yes, most characters do have a particular love interest, but trying to lean so much into it in the beginning just kind of felt forced. And then towards the end of towards the entire movie, it was just kind of thrown away. It was kind of like it's there, but it's not really there. So it's like, yeah, I got the hots for you, but don't really know what I'm going to do with it, or we can't really be together because of whatever reasons they want to come up with. So again, it kind of got played. Movies filled with a lot of different movie tropes and stuff with the love interest, the best friend turned bad guy, and he's I won't say a spoiler. He's a spoiled rich guy. He gets everything that he wants except for a cure for what he's been dealing with, this blood disease that he's been dealing with. And of course, first chance he sees to get it out, he takes it. And even at the warnings of Morbius and stuff, he still doesn't want to do it, which is all pretty standard. And then they end up going at it, and we see how that goes. So again, it all got played out pretty freaking quick, and I couldn't sit through it much longer, and much less a second showing, which I did do a second showing just to make sure that I got everything. So it didn't sit well. When it comes down to what Sony was trying to do, they're trying to kind of build their universe, because their universe revolves around everything Spider-Man, and they're really trying to build their universe up. You can tell they're setting up for something going forward. I don't think they went about it the right way. Like, again, with the trailer gave away, a Spider-Man tease as well as Adrian Toomes being included in the movie. When it comes down to it, Spider-Man was really nowhere to be found, was barely forgotten. Venom was referenced at some point in time, so we know that this is, his universe. And then we get Adrian Toomes, which was shown in the trailer, which turns out to be the end credit scene. It's like, you gave us the end credit scene, which is supposed to be a surprise for us to really enjoy and get hyped for what's coming next, and you gave it to us in the trailer. So it was like, that was kind of dumb. Like, why would you give it to us in the trailer? Like, it doesn't make any sense. You build no hype, no mystery around it. Now everybody's knew Toomes was coming, and then when he didn't show up, it was like, oh no, here he is, it's there. And then how he got there, like, I'm still trying to put together how he got there. Maybe I got to think about this a little bit longer. But the fact that Toomes was transported from Tom Holland's universe, which is the 616, standard, I will say Earth 199999. He's transported from this universe to this new universe, which essentially is Venom's universe, because we're just going to call it is Venom's universe that Morbius is in, and now Toomes is in. But most universes have a copy of the character at some point, but of course, with the way Marvel's doing it, there is no copies. You just transport it from one universe to another. So there's no record of Toomes being present whatsoever. So he gets released from prison. Great. And again, all the spoiler warning was there. He gets released from prison. And he's just kind of there. And then you see him starting to set up the Sinister Six. Like, hey, we could do some stuff together. It's like, first off, where did you get your entire Vulture suit? Like, you just pulled it out of nowhere? How long has it been in between processes where you managed to, rebuild this thing and put it all together? Your sidekick, Shocker, where's he at? Are they going to bring him into the fold at some point? Because, he was back in the other universe. And since Toome's been pulled into this universe, essentially we have Venom, Morbius, and Toomes, which could be the start of the Sinister Six. We know that there's a Craven movie being done, so that's a fourth member. We've already seen Rhino, Lizard, Doc Ock. I said we got a possible Hobgoblin with Ned Leeds, but again, that was in the other universe. So is that person going to be? Is there going to be a version of that person here or not? Sandman, Mysterio, we're all done. I'm pretty sure that they're not going to reuse these characters in any degree. Or I mean, you got plenty of characters in the Sinister Six to choose from. There's so many, iterations of the Sinister Six. You got a lot that you can choose from and play with. So, they chose to go with Toomes, looks like being a leader, and Morbius being, the next member on display. But how are they going to spin this with the Sinister Six? Is the Sinister Six going to be some kind of, anti-hero type thing? Are they going to be straight villains and kind of get into stuff? Like, where is it going? Because Morbius, I don't really know where Morbius stands right now. Like, what is his particular purpose? Is he trying to do bad, do good? We don't know yet, because the character himself, the Jared Leto, was kind of lackluster. And I'm not going to put all this on Jared. Like, I'm not going to put it all on. Like, I really think that there's a lot of bad writing going with the story. But Jared Leto doesn't make it much better. I mean, as an actor and stuff, you got to kind of talk to him. And again, I don't know what was said on set, if anything was talked about, what's going on. Like, hey, we got to fix some stuff, because this is not hitting. If you think this is great for the fans, which it's got a 70% on Rotten Tomatoes currently for the fan base. So overall, the movie wasn't bad in terms of, just a movie, but it did nothing to really solidify, what I expect from, Marvel. And keep in mind, this is a Sony movie. This is not necessarily a Marvel movie with the MCU. This is Sony. And it seems like they're really trying to attach themselves to the MCU, but not be the MCU. It's like you got a chance to really make yourself great. And it doesn't seem like Morbius is kind of hitting. So just hopefully this is the bad one of the Sinister Six, and movies going forward, they're able to kind of pull it together and really make something happen. I would really want to see the Sinister Six, and I want to see the Sinister Six in its full capacity, like being the Sinister Six, going after Spider-Man, which is, essentially what the Sinister Six is there to kind of just cause a bunch of ruckus. Like, you could literally bring in Andrew Garfield and put him in this universe, because he hasn't fought a Venom at all either. We've already got a piece of Venom in Tom Holland's universe, so that's there. Leave that there. So Andrew Garfield could be the Spider-Man for this universe, which that would allow you to bring in, the Lizard at some point if you wanted to. So that, he's been cured and stuff like that. But another Lizard could be transported in. Rhino was present before. So if Rhino's still around, that's something. If Craven is going to be in this universe, then cool. You got, Hydra Man, Multi-Man, Boomerang, Puma. You got people that you can pull and see what you want to do. But they can utilize that and really have Spider-Man going forward. And because Andrew Garfield had mentioned this with Electro about their, being a black Spider-Man. Now, it was mentioned by Electro, there's a black Spider-Man. You could essentially set this up for Miles Morales to be a part of this and him facing off with the Sinister Six, which that also gives you options. If you've seen Into the Spider-Verse, which all of you should, you can bring in, Olivia Octavius, like I say. So you can have a female Doc Ock. You can do a female Electro if you want to. Swarm can be present. Like, there's other characters or other versions of characters that you could, if you want to flip this on his head. You could do something as crazy as have Andrew Garfield in here doing the movie. Like, doing things and mentoring, Miles Morales. Since you're just pulling people into the universe, Miles Morales can be pulled into this universe, and bam, there's your intro for him, and you can do stuff with him. But what is Sony going to do? Are they going to do something with Miles Morales because of the success of Into the Spider-Verse? We know that they're doing another Into the Spider-Verse, so they may not want to touch Miles for a while. They may want to have something else going on. I don't know. But all this is speculation, based off of what Morbius kind of set the stage for. And we're going to kind of see where things are going forward. So right now, if I was to give Morbius a solid rating, I'd probably give Morbius about a 4-5, just for the CG and stuff was done pretty well and stuff like that. I think that everything with the characters kind of set up in terms of how you got the powers and stuff like that. Like everything's kind of early on, and they didn't waste a lot of time for that. Cool, I'm with it. It's just that, again, the love interest and the enemy was kind of lackluster, and the story really didn't go anywhere or kind of give me any solid ground as to what Morbius is about. He just seems, again, like a throwaway character at this point. So we'll see. You can leave your comments and let me know what you guys think, whether I was right, wrong, or you agree. I mean, it's an opinion. Can't really do either. But yeah, we'll see where it goes, and I'm going to just continue to red string this thing out and see what we can put together. So hopefully you guys check it out. If you like this video, please drop a like, hit subscribe if you haven't, so you can check out other stuff, because we're going to be reviewing all these movies and stuff coming out and how they all connect. And I'm going to keep you guys as informed as possible about what I think these characters are going to do and where these are going to go from the MCU standpoint and the Sony standpoint. So appreciate it. Definitely check it out. I'll catch you guys in the next one.